octopus's garden in the shade. He let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see me, an octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm below the storm, in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed, in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around, because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden in the shade. We taught about and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves.
Lies beneath the waves.
Oh, what a joy for every girl and boy, knowing that they're happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me, no one there tells us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden with you, in an octopus's garden with you, in an octopus's garden with you.
That's a fun one.
It's a water theme today, so
We're going full water. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well on this lovely spring day as we move into summer. So, yep, we have a water theme today, oceans. So that explains the octopus's garden in case you were confused. We're about ready to get service started, so I think it's a good idea if you can and you're able, please stand up and say the words, thank you. Here we go, 3, 4, and thank you. Say it more time, and thank you. Say it 2 more times, say thank you. Say it 1 more time. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing,
this joyful day. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Woo! Yeah, thank you, thank you. Woo! You may be seated. We're missing a little drumming on that, so thank you for your clapping and getting that beat down there. Yeah, welcome to Unity Center of Peace. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen, and to my left is the wonderful Pat Webster, who is soon to be Reverend Pat Webster. She's soon to be ordained at Unity Village in a magnificent ceremony, and we we will have a little something for her when she comes back there. But we really want to honor her journey. Yeah. All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for those of you joining us online, YouTube and Facebook. We're glad to have you here. If you'd like to say hello in the chat, and we feel like we are connected. We are connected. We are connected. And so let's connect a little deeper with that source, that divine source of love within us. So take a moment and breathe, and as Pat lights the divine light candle, we'll just be with that sacred element of fire for a moment. Yeah. And from this place, I invite you to say our opening invocation, which is coming up on the screen. Taking a breath together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Breathe. Feel that possibility of omnipotent good that is here, just sparkling all around us today. Sparkling within our soul, within our heart, and as we open to it, as we invite it, as we say yes to it, it becomes activated in our experience. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. So it is.
Trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender, I trust and I know. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
Falling into those arms of love. And as we do that, surrendering to those arms of love, we are so here to be with the awesomeness of Mama Motion, the ocean. Yes. And as we hear that soothing sound, we connect with the memory and the accompanying feelings. Did you ever think, oh, if I can just get to the seaside and just sit there and allow the waves to reassure me? Yes, to soothe me. Yes. So, as you feel yourself soothed by the beautiful sounds of those waves, imagine that you walk into that ocean. And it feels a little cold at first, until you get used to it and you slowly wade in. And then there's a moment where you just dunk in and get yourself all wet. And then there's those breakers you want to get out beyond. Some of us have some challenging breakers in our lives. And we know how. We just go a little deeper and get under them. Let them splash over us and come back up for air. That mama ocean, that wet, watery manifestation of the divine, from which we all were born. Because after the Big Bang, the ocean covered the whole earth. And then the single-celled beings occurred. And from there on and on, more complex being in the fishes. Everything. We have all of the parts of that evolution in us. She began the birthing and the evolution of who we are. Our lymph nodes are very similar to the pH of the seawater. So we celebrate the cleansing properties of that part of the ocean that is our body. And we get to that smooth space beyond the breakers where we can just easily float up and down and feel how that feels in your body. Just being lifted by the gentle waves and set back down on the ocean as your feet touch the floor. How cleansing, how soothing that motion is. Mama motion. Mama motion. Seat of our emotions too. And you go out a little deeper, fearlessly, knowing again that you're held in those loving arms. And you go deep under. And don't worry, you can breathe. In this meditation, you can breathe. And you go deeper and deeper, connecting with that source of the depths, the creator of life, the place of human emotion, and let you know, connect with that source of life, surrender to it. In the depths, in the darkness, at the place where we were all begun the creation of ourselves, the evolution of ourselves. And connect with that energy in the silence, letting you know what is there for you in this moment, beginning now. and slowly beginning to swim up and up from the depths through to the light. Grandfather Sun meets grandmother ocean, mama ocean. And you may feel in your body or have a knowing in your heart or even some words that let you know what it is that you're bringing back from that watery source, that wet, watery manifestation of the divine. And from that space, we speak the names softly of anyone that needs our prayers. Earl, Lily, and we also have the honor and blessing and joy to pray over our prayer box where anybody, members of our community or not, can place a prayer on the prayer request paper in the foyer, knowing that all is well because we have, all of us and the people who requested prayer have everything they need to connect with the divine as they navigate some of the challenges of human life, of prosperity and abundance, of health, of relationships, whatever it is they're navigating. And we affirm that they have in them everything that they need. And we send our energy toward this box, energy from our hearts. Because research says that when people pray for other people, they get better faster, even when they don't know they're being prayed for. So he sends our energy here, knowing that they have everything they need with all the divine powers that is theirs. And we affirm that they connect with that power and they receive support from God's manifestations on earth, from people and nature and everything that loves them. For all this, we're so grateful. And if you will slowly open your eyes and allow yourself to be fully bringing your full divine presence to this present moment. And looking around and seeing and being seen as the divine being as you are and they are. Giving them a namaste. May you go well. I see the divine in you. Thank you. So we're now going to say our vision and our mission. Our vision. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission. We center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is.
Good morning again. We are mostly bright matter today. We're missing
2/3.
our third wheel, but have to wake up after that meditation with the water. You know, water's a very safe place for me, so I really like it.
Yeah, I feel a little loopy. We'll see what happens.
This is a lovely song by Daniel Lamad. If you know it, you're welcome to sing along with it in the chorus. And here we go.
I've seen my share of struggle when I thought that I knew best. When I've sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I've made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. I want to be like water down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Want to be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea.
Have you ever seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides.
Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. I let nature take its course. No more thinking that I know where this river's meant to go. I've railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt.
For the lottery I never won, for the heartache that I've felt.
But always seems to, when I let go of expectation and regret,
Life has plenty of surprises for me yet.
I wanna be like water coming down the mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. I wanna be like water coming down the mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Good morning, everyone. How are you all on this gorgeous day? It's kind of hard to be inside. Maybe we should all go out there in the forest and do it. Be nice, huh? All right. We're going to give our planet a little more love today. And as you might guess, we're going to focus that energy, that love, on our oceans. Because the oceans do cover the majority of Earth. 71% of our planet is water, and 97% of that are oceans. Beautiful, vast, limitless seeming, powerful oceans. You know, I think I just learned recently that while there are 7 large oceans, there are over 50 seas. 50 seas. So the idea of sailing the 7 seas, it's a little outdated. So I have actually been learning a little bit more about the ocean, something I love that's in my heart. I grew up on the Pacific coast and was in the ocean as often as I could get. I became a certified scuba diver and have scuba dived in various seas around and just love it. But, I found that I really didn't know that much about the oceans until I started watching this Netflix documentary series about the oceans narrated by none other than Barack Obama. Have anybody else seen that? Have been watching it? Oh, yeah, it's fabulous. And there's something really comforting about his voice. It just takes you back to gentler times. I'm telling you. And, I always thought that all of the oceans were separate. There's the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Indian, and separated by the continents. But they're actually all connected. I didn't know. Maybe everybody else knew this, but I didn't know that the big currents, huge currents, move the waters from one ocean to the next, from the Indian Ocean into the Atlantic Ocean and down in the Arctic and around into the Pacific, and just one giant, source of water. And, of course, teeming with life. I think we have an image there. The ocean's teeming with life, abundant, intelligent, beautiful, creative, some crazy looking, some crazy behaving, but intelligent life, from the little tiny microscopic plankton to large sperm whales that have the biggest brain of any mammal on the planet. I didn't know that. They're 6 times larger than our brain, and scientists say that they have 3 times more capacity for empathy than we do. And I'm like, how do they figure that? And does empathy come from the brain? I don't know. But that empathy helps them create strong family bonds that helps the entire pod, thrive. Right? So I think, from the beginning of time, we humans have been curious about this intelligence. And the more that we know about our planet, the more we learn about our solar system in which the Earth rotates and the entire universe, that all of life is playing out, the more we can't help but understand that there is a grand intelligence behind it all. That there is an amazing, creative, ceaseless, powerful intelligence behind it all. And we've been curious about this intelligence from the beginning of time. Coming up with all kinds of ideas about what that is, what the source of all life is. And many of us have been listening to, the whispering of our soul that speaks of this divine current that runs through all of life. As the poet Tagore said, that runs through all of life and through my veins, dancing in rhythmic measure. To paraphrase, he's an Indian poet and mystic. And I think in every culture, there has been someone who has been able to see past the appearance, the limited appearance, the illusion, and perceive that divine life essence, that divine intelligence that is behind everything, and within us, and has experienced it, and has come back to their tribe or their culture or their people trying to share this awakened awareness. And the people, take this core truth and create a religion around it, filled with dogma and fantastical stories, and create a heaven and a hell and decide who's going where and who's worthy of what, and really basically creating a God out of their own image and likeness. And in the process, completely forgetting the original source, the divine love intelligence from which it all comes. Now, in their defense, and in our human beings' defense, it's not easy for us humans to see and really understand that invisible source behind it all for that reason, because it is invisible. We've been trained all of our life to pay attention to and to trust only what we can see and touch and smell and taste. Right? Really paying attention to that tangible physical world has helped us survive. Right? Survive, yeah. But thrive? I'm not sure. Right? This earth has supplied everything that we have needed. Everything that we have needed. But to constantly take and take and take without an awareness of its inherent sacredness has left it damaged and exploited. And our brains have, we've used our brains to come up with amazing medical advances that has helped us extend our lives way past what our ancestors ever dreamed of. But are those extra lives, those extra years, happy? Are they filled with joy? Are our hearts full of love? Do we realize more of our divine potential in those extra years? For most people, not here, present company excluded. I know. But for most people, the answer is no, right? It's no. It's no. So survive, yes, but thrive? I don't know. I think in order to thrive, we must experience something beyond this physical, material world. We must listen to that longing of our soul that is wanting us to experience that divine essence, that current of divine life that is running through our lives, running through us. That divine love intelligence. To listen to the whispering of our soul that wants us to transcend the material world and to merge with Source, the source from which everything originates. That's when we experience wholeness. That's when we thrive. That's really when we thrive. And so everything in this material world has its origins in that source. That source, that divine consciousness. Now, everything comes from consciousness. Consciousness comes first. Now, that runs contrary to what, we've learned, which is that consciousness arises from the brain, from the matter in our brain, that, the brain, the matter comes first, and then we have the consciousness later. But again, these mystical souls who have somehow been able to pierce the veil and have seen the nature of reality, including some of the pioneers of New Thought, have understood that the essence of life is this divine love intelligence, that it is consciousness. It is all consciousness from which everything comes. And, just as the authors of the ancient Vedas, Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, and others have known, and have expressed, right? Just as they have. So too have some scientists who have studied the basic building blocks of life. In the 1940s, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist, what's his name? Max Planck, who really is famous for originating quantum theory, Max Planck. He said this: as a man who has devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to the study of matter, I can tell you, as a result of my research about atoms, this much: there is no matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particles of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of an atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent spirit. This spirit is the matrix of all matter. That was in the 40s, right? So there is a paradigm shift that's slowly happening from a material model to a consciousness model, but it's slow, right? It's because, it takes time for us humans to change our worldview, of course. But I think it's accelerating with the speed of the internet. More people are hearing about this, learning about it, experiencing it, getting hip to this, And it's not just the quantum theory, it is people's experience. That seems to be accelerating. The experience of awakening seems to be accelerating. How many of you have heard about or listened to the telepathy tapes? Wow, yeah, a lot of you. Mind-blowing, isn't it? For those of you who don't know about it yet, it's a podcaster, Kai Dickens, who has discovered that there's a lot of families who have autistic children who are profoundly autistic, they're nonverbal, and that they have been communicating telepathically with their caregivers, reading their parents' minds, and they've been saying this. They have been trying to explain what's happening, but nobody wants to hear that. That's crazy talk. What do you mean? So this is where this podcast comes in. So she comes in with a team of researchers, and they do these tests with the families, which kind of reminds me of the ESP test that they did in the 70s. Where you have a card, and there's an image or a word or a number on that card, and the parent is looking. Sometimes they're behind a closed door in another room, and the child, and they think about it, they focus on it, and the child reads the mind, and with 100% accuracy knows what that thing is. I mean, it's like, whoa, how is that, right? And some children can, tell you what's happening, what a relative is saying or experiencing that lives in a different town. There's one autistic boy who can tell you the plot of a novel that his mother is reading. And they communicate with this spelling board. So it's like it's like a board where they press letters and numbers, then they spell out words, right? This is how they're communicating. So the podcast has gotten really popular. It shot up to number 1 for a very brief time in January. But, it's now attracting the attention of a lot of skeptics who are going, let me check out that research method you're doing, right? And the researchers that actually come into the homes and see it and have the experience are, again, they shift their idea 180 degrees. They're like, what? This is incredible. This is amazing. Now, a lot of the researchers who don't do that, who don't come into the home, who don't have the experience, we're standing out here going, well, is this? I mean, they're like bending over backwards trying to come up with rational explanations for why this is happening, because it's difficult. It's challenging for status quo science, it changes our whole idea of how we understood how communication works. And really, basically, consciousness itself is shifting. So now the second season is about, she's interviewing some people who communicate with animals. And there's one in particular who's kind of like a horse whisperer. And one example is that this horse had some kind of a skin issue, some skin disease, and the vets couldn't figure it out. They just didn't know, and it was getting worse. And so they brought in this communicator, this horse whisperer, and she communicated with the horse, and they discovered there was a communication that came back that said the bedding or the stuff that's in the stalls, Catherine, you probably know what that is, the horse was allergic to it. And all the other horses and all the and it was fine. This is like what they basically use, but he was allergic to it. So they took out that stuff and replaced it with something else, and it cleared up, and there's story after story of amazing things, sick animals, animals that have behavior issues, and somebody communicates with them, and then they make that adjustment, and the whole thing is good. There was one episode also of a man who learned to communicate nonverbally with his wife who had dementia, who was, at this point, nonverbal. And, he was trying to figure out, how can I move you? He had trouble moving her. And then got in touch with her, communicated, and then clearly heard her say, if you move me this certain way, you move my leg first, and it'll make it much easier. So they made that adjustment, which help them both manage a little better in that situation. And then after she passed away, this guy went into memory care units and helped the loved ones communicate, what service, right? My God. So it's just extraordinary. If you get a chance, it will blow you away. So the paradigm that says that I am over here and you're over there, we're separate from each other, and your intelligence is located in your brain, in your head, that is all sort of, it's coming up to be questioned, right? I don't know, and it's not only the scientists that are with quantum theory that they're opening to, it's people's experiences, it is research that's being done, this podcast certainly, other material, the stuff the research that Joe Dispenza is doing, and also the original research that was done years ago with transcendental meditation, where they had a percentage of the population who meditated in a city, the crime rate dropped in that city. So all of these are kind of all of this is coming to the surface at a time, I think, that we could really use a shift in consciousness. Aho. Shifting our consciousness to understand that we're all connected in this beautiful ocean of divine life. Another way to think about this is that we have a wave here. Let's look at our wave, that we are a wave. We are like a wave in a sea, an endless sea, right? I am an individual wave in a sea, a divine sea of infinite consciousness. I am an individual wave in an endless sea of divine consciousness. So if you'll put up the affirmation, we're going to say the affirmation in a minute, but first I want you to have an experience of that first. So just close your eyes for a moment and take a breath and connect deeply into that place within you, that life, that breath, that divine essence, that consciousness from which you originate, from which all of life flows, that divine, endless, ceaseless, amazing life. And breathe that in. Really feel that essence flowing through your body. Tingling, maybe your fingers are tingling a little bit. Feel it vibrating out from you a little bit. Maybe merging into the person next to you, their vibration of this divine love essence. And imagine this beautiful energy of divine life that is a current of love that is constantly flowing. Breathing that in. And bring your awareness back, open your eyes, and from this place, let's say together this affirmation. Together, I am an individual wave in a sea of infinite divine consciousness. Once more, I am an individual wave in a sea of infinite divine consciousness. Yes, you are. And just like one wave flows into the next, you know, we are all connected with each other. And that core of our being. Also, all of the elements that are in the ocean are in the wave. So H2O, salt, microscopic particles, fish that are in the ocean are part of the wave. So too, all the elements that are of this divine essence are us, which are, help me out here, love, peace, joy. Well, there's the 12 powers, certainly. Faith, intelligence, creativity, vitality, life energy, abundance, definitely abundance, wholeness, imagination, creativity, enthusiasm. That's an enthusiastic wave, right? It's enthusiasm. All of those divine qualities are what we are. So I invite you to think about this week, that I am an individual wave in that sea of infinite divine consciousness, and think about what that divine consciousness is expressing as you. All right? Sound like a good idea to do this week? Yeah. All right. Namaste.
This is about the safety of water.
dressed in red. Wade in the water. Must be the children that Moses led. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that young girl dressed in white? Wade in the water. Must be the children of the Israelites. Gonna trouble the water. Yeah, we'll wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. Yeah, God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that young girl dressed in blue? Wade in the water. Must be the children that's a coming through. Yeah. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. You don't believe I've been redeemed. Wade in the water. I just see the Holy Ghost looking for me. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Ah, how good that was. Kind of takes us back to our roots. So it's time now for our sacred ceremony of prosperity and abundance. As we remember that if we want to be prosperous, we give out and it comes back multiplied to us. As we remember the sacredness and the love and the support and the education and the beautiful, loving energy of this community, we love giving to it. Many ways to give listed up there. And we have a new card now. It's a blue card. And so if you're giving by Venmo or some other way and you want to hold this to your heart while we bless what we're giving, or you can hold this green card if you're a constant supporter. And if you're new or just want to give a little extra, there are those little brown envelopes in the back of the chairs as well. You can stick something in that. So let's hold those ways and say our blessing, which is up there, blessings of this. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth.
And we'll hold our hands and send that infinite, unseen energy that Reverend Victoria spoke so beautifully about, and imbibe this material service and the symbols of that embodied in these cards, and bless these gifts. And we say thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. So Laurie isn't here, is she, this morning? Our flowers are from her. And Laurie, if you're watching online, I want you to know that when I read this, I cried because it touched me so. So her dedication announcement is that I am honoring the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom as it celebrates its 110th anniversary, founded in 1915 during World War I, when women, when women from belligerent countries gathered together at The Hague to meet and convince their country leaders that conflict could be settled by dialogue and diplomacy rather than by guns and bombs. The women wanted to prevent the ensuing slaughter of their husbands and sons and fathers. Today, it is women and children who are the main victims of war. The WILPF continues to work for a more peaceful world, connecting peace, environment, racial, and social justice. Women have the capacity to change the world, but have historically been excluded from political and peace-building processes. The U.S. WILPF leaders received the Nobel Peace Prize. Jane Addams in 1931 and Emily Green Balch in 1946. There is a local triangle branch which was started in 1935 by Charlotte Addams here in Chapel Hill and is celebrating its 90th birthday. We welcome new members. Still have chills from that. Okay. If you are here for the first time and have not received a card, would you raise your hand so that you can get a card? No first-timers. Okay. If you're here for the second time and would raise your hands, we have a gift for you that tells you more about unity. Is anybody here for the second time and would raise your hands? Okay, no first time or second timers who at least want to raise their hands. You got your card. Thank you for letting us know and welcome. Yay! Okay. Does that inspire any other brave person who hasn't yet raised their hand first or second time? Okay, good. All right. Then let's hear from Bright Matter.
So I learned something in New Zealand.
Just one thing?
Just one thing. Well, they found that great white sharks are much more intelligent than we ever thought they were. For example, they won't go after an injured seal because they know if the seal is broken, not to eat it. Here all week.
I cannot believe I just fell for that.
Here all week.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Feel free to sing along.
Clap along like you are. In the empire of the senses, you're the queen of all you survey. All the cities, all the nations, everything that falls your way, I say. There is a deeper world than this that you don't understand. There is a deeper world than this, tugging at your hand.
It does that sometimes.
Every ripple along the ocean, every leaf on every tree, every sand dune in the desert, every power we never see, I say. There is a deeper wave than this, swelling in the world. There is a deeper wave than this, listen to me world. Feel it rising in the cities, feel it sweeping over land, over borders, over frontiers. Nothing will its power withstand, I say. There is a deeper wave than this, rising in the world. There is a deeper wave than this, listen to me world. All the bloodshed, all the anger, all the weapons, all the greed, all the armies, all the missiles, all the symbols of our fear, I say. There is a deeper wave than this, rising in the world. There is a deeper wave than this, listen to me world. At the still point of destruction, at the center of the fury, all the angels, all the devils, all around us, can't you see? There is a deeper wave than this, rising in our land. There is a deeper wave than this, nothing will withstand, I say. Love is the seventh wave, 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 I say. Love. The Dream of the Blue Turtles. Sting. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Oh, I love that one. Yeah, all right. So we have some things going on this afternoon and all through the week. And if you want to know more, just really go to our website, unitychapelhill.org, to find out details and more stuff. But I'm just going to highlight a few things. This afternoon, we are showing a documentary on the Sun Bear Medicine Wheel, our Sun Bear Medicine Wheel. Gaines Steer had this documentary person come in and film this entire event that was happening in October that honors nature, the ancestors, all beings. So it's an opportunity to kind of get a sense of what that's about. There will be another ceremony coming up soon, but the one this Tuesday is canceled. Is that correct? Because oh, it's on Friday. Okay, it's been shifted to Friday. Okay, because that Tuesday we think we're going to get rain. So Friday it looks a little better for us to have that. So to get a feeling for what this is about, come into the sanctuary after you get your coffee and stuff, and let's watch that together. Yes, Mark?
And it is 27 minutes long. So.
Okay, all right, 27. Not 1 minute more. Okay, Tim, would you come up if you're here and talk about the men's group? Yeah.
So, UNC has a men's circle for UCP members and friends. And the purpose of this group is to develop a closer bond among the men of UCP and explore our individual growth, spiritually, mentally, and physically. I've yet to see the physically.
Get some weights in there.
But that will happen, I think, because one men's group was many months ago, was going to have a choreography session.
Oh,
from
okay.
one of our members who was versed in that.
Oh.
So this is an opportunity for the men to get to know each other on a deeper level. If you've never attended it and you're a man, please sign up if you're interested with your name, phone number, and email address. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. You can also sign up on our website. Just go to the events entry for the men's circle. And
Okay.
when does it meet? It's right up here, right? So it's the fourth Sunday of each month, and it meets in the last room on the right down the hallway from 9:15 until 10:30.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Tim. All right, Armina, come on up and talk about the mandala ceremony that you are creating.
I would like to invite everybody in Saturday, May 31st, 2 to 4, to our beautiful labyrinth with the beautiful energy there and the perfect shade, so it's never too hot there. I guarantee I've been there many times. And we're going to have flowers, we have a special music, and I invite you to disconnect from your life. Whatever you do, whatever you are, whatever you're going through, just to leave it behind for 2 hours and connect through the nature. I guarantee you the energy is very special there, especially with the music in the background and fresh flowers. You're going to have opportunity to just be alone with nature and have that little magic just for yourself, and you deserve it. So I hope you can show up. I invite you to bring flowers, any wild flowers, natural elements, leaves, bring children. If you can't move too much, you bring a lawn chair, sit and enjoy the view, listen to music, close your eyes, remove your shoes. It's a very special experience. I hope to see some of you there. Thank you.
Sounds perfectly delightful. Yeah, thank you, Irina, for offering that. Okay, and we still have this ongoing program. It's a fundraiser. If you have ink cartridges, if you have a printer at home and you have those ink cartridges, and you got to replace them a lot. So what do you do with them, right? Well, you bring them to UCP and you put them in that little basket that's out there, and we receive 10% of that, right?
We receive money for each of the used cartridges.
Okay.
But when you use this up here, that bit.ly right there, or that little.
The QR code, if you put your QR code.
You can order for ink, which is very reasonable there. Let's say you order $60, then $6 comes back to the church.
Okay, that's
10%
fine.
of all your orders comes back. And
So
we
you
also get a little
can order the ink cartridges and you can recycle. They'll recycle those ink cartridges. So it's a win-win all the way around. Thank you, Barnsley, for bringing us that. The deeper dive discussion today is led by Lisa Mills. Would you raise your hand so people know who you are? And that will be in the last room at the on the right, in the back. Right after you can go get coffee and bring some, treats with you and go back in the room and discuss whatever it is that speaks to you. And after the service, of course, what a gorgeous day to be out on the deck, right? We have our fellowship out there, so please join us for that. 3-minute miracle today. Our prayer partner is Mel Karen. Thank you, Mel. And so if there's anything that kind of got stirred up, or you have anybody in your world or yourself that really would love to get that essence of love and consciousness, to see it from a higher level, then avail yourself of that free service that we have. That is the miracle. Okay, and that's it. So, I just want to say a little word about last night. We had this really cool experience here, and it was the Ukrainian family. His name is it Jurig? Yurig Fedyinsky. He is a Ukrainian-born musician, and he creates all of these amazing instruments. He builds them, and they're so beautiful sounding, and he plays them, and he usually comes alone, but he brought his whole family with him. And I'm telling you, it was like, Sound of Music, the Von Trapp family. They were like, like this. And they were up here singing and playing the instruments. It was just delightful. So the next time he comes, I know many of you did not come for whatever reason. We'll forgive you this time. But next time we have him back, you don't want to miss it. It's really very special. All right, just wanted to say that. Okay, so let's welcome in the kids that are trying to come in there.
I am the radiant life of God. I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, vim of God. I am the radiant life of God. I am.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, I'm Shannon, the YFM director. And good to see you all. Big thanks to Laura for volunteering today. So, yes. We had 4 powerful beings upstairs, and five, thank you, I apologize. Yeah. 6, come on now. Okay, yeah. It's Laura 5, anyway, moving on. So we talked a little bit more about power, and then because of the older age range, we started talking about how to combine power. So the kids chose 3 different powers, and we talked about how to combine them into an action, something that's actionable, that we can share that power, our power, with others. And how to be creative, but then creative and include somebody who may not be may not think that they're powerful in school in some way, right? So we kind of trying to bring it all together a little bit. And then, of course, the star or sun. It's pretty powerful. Next week, we're going to continue talking about the power of power, more combining powers, and we'll just keep on building useful, wonderful energy and power upstairs so the world can be a better place for them and us.
Let's bless these children and the children everywhere with our UCP blessing. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Wow. All right, you may join your family and Everyone who can stand, please do as we say our prayer of protection with I am statements. I'm just going to scoot down over here. Let's take a nice deep breath together. Oh my goodness. All right, together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Hi, it's Reverend Victoria here. I'm at Unity Center of Peace with our house band, Bright Matter. Hello. Yeah, and if this video has inspired you or empowered you or opened your heart, opened your consciousness, or even just given you hope, we ask that you support what we're doing here by making a donation today, going to unitychapelhill.org or clicking the link below. And we thank you. Thank you.